Welcome to myviolinrecital.com. My name's Diane Allen, and today I'm going to talk about the bow arm warm-up exercises. And you'll find that there's a summary of everything I'm going to show you in a printable format, and you'll find that on the blog. So it's what I have posted for you to download on the blog is not self-explanatory in itself. It's just a summary of everything I'm going to show you on this video. So what we're going to do today is examine the bow hand and the bow arm and how we use it. But we're going to do it in a way where instead of being told put your pinky here, put your finger here, put your thumb here, you're going to actually experience through these exercises why each of those fingers and why you're using that part of your arm to maneuver the bow. Of anything on this website, if you skipped all the rest of it and you do this one exercise, this is, I think, the most valuable thing I have to share with you at this time. So once again, these are the bow arm warm-up exercises. So what we're going to do is start out with the bow thumb balance. And what you'll need to do is play this in the upper half of the bow on the G string. And this way the bow is pretty parallel to the ground. And if your thumb's in the right place, you're going to be able to lift your fingers and balance on your thumb. Just the bow is being held up by the violin and your thumb. You'll do a bow hand and a down bow. Balance, bow hand, down bow, balance, bow hand, down bow, balance, bow hand, down bow. Now we're going to do 4 up bows. Balance, bow hand, up, balance, bow hand, up, balance, bow hand, up, balance, bow hand, up. So you could tell people a zillion times, hold your thumb this way, hold your thumb this way, hold your thumb this way, but when you do this exercise, if your thumb isn't in the right place, it's not going to work. So it's like, this really gives you the experience of if your thumb's here, you can be able to balance the bow, and that's the place where we use our thumb on the bow. Okay, the next exercise is called core fingers. Core fingers will always, all of these exercises are cumulative, so you always start with your bow thumb balance. Okay? Core fingers are these middle 2 fingers on your bow, and you're just going to place them on top of the stick right over the thumb. And we're going to tremolo, which is shaking the bow. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what's going on here. So when you do a bow hand, okay, usually these fingers are all curled over, but the contact is right here. So if you imagine we're building a seesaw, and you have to have something underneath the seesaw to hold it up. That's called the fulcrum. Okay, the stick of the bow is going to be the seesaw, the plank of wood for the seesaw. So you have your fulcrum, and if we don't attach that plank of wood, it's going to slide around. So we take 2 nails here, we attach it right there. Okay, now this is holding the bow in place on the other side of the thumb. That's why this is your core. Okay. We're going to get into these 2 fingers later and how they steer the bow. So what we have is the contact is the thumb, the underneath side of these 2 middle fingers right over the thumb. When we curl our fingers, it's just for decoration. Okay, the real contact is here. When you curl your fingers around, they don't really have to touch the bow when they curl around. They don't have to push in or squeeze or anything. It's just, this is where the contact is, right where the stick is, okay, not on the frog. So that's core fingers. The third exercise, we're going to now get into some parts of our arms. We have the forearm and the upper arm, okay, and what we're going to do is talk about string crossings. Many people teach string crossings in a zillion different ways. This is just one way. Take it for what it is. You can modify it to your own needs, but we've got to start somewhere. You know, we'll say this is the rule. let's break the rule later, but right now we're going to start with the upper arm changes the whole arm's level. Okay, so if you need to be on the G string, you lift your upper arm up. If you need to be on the E string, you lower your upper arm down. That's getting a little confusing there. All right, so one of the analogies I like to give is that you've broken your arm playing the violin, and so the doctor put a cast on your arm and you forgot to take the bow out of your hand before he put the cast on. So here we are on the G string, both unbalanced, quarter fingers, bow hand. Okay? Now, I'm just going to take my arm like a lever. I'm going to change strings. This is a silent exercise. I'm stopping on each string. Okay, you can always practice double stops as well. E, A, D, G. You can do it with your eyes closed, have someone call out, you know, A, D, G, E, whatever. We're also going to do this at the tip, where you'll be lifting and lowering. Once again, it's all this part of your arm. And at the frog, it's still this part of your arm, lifting and lowering from string to string. Okay? So that's how we keep our bow hand the same, whether we're on the G string or the E string. Okay? Our posture and our hand stays the same. Okay? If we leave our elbow down and we change from string to string, then something else has to move, and the bow hand might be a little different on each string.